Hey everybody, A.S. Miyazaki here. I just wanted to hop on really quick and talk about the next book, actually the next 2 or possibly 3 books in the Farodun Down series. This is the first one, Moon Have Mercy. It follows young Farodun Down on part of his coming-of-age journey. It's a found family story. I've been saying it's a space western, and I suppose broadly it is. I think folk sci-fi is a little bit better of a descriptor, even though that's not a term I've heard before. I think space western maybe just has certain expectations with it that this does not meet. In the same way, like I've heard this described as a space opera, I might even have it as a space opera in like when you have to say what genre it is. It's really not a space opera. Space opera to me implies that the sort of hero, the main character, is on a journey that is heroic, that is dealing with the major political factions of their universe, in some way is going head to head with them. Now, Farodun does butt heads with them, but that's not really his story. His story actually kind of grows out of a space opera that failed in universe, not one that I started writing and then abandoned. The hero of that story unfortunately winds up dissolved in an acid swallet, so. Anyway, let's talk about book 2. So the way this was going to go was there would be a novel, and then an anthology of episodes, and then a novel and an anthology. And that's still how it's going, except this first anthology covers some really important parts of Farodun's life, a lot of his own self-realization stuff, and I didn't really want to cut too much of it out, so I have split it into 2 volumes. The good news is the second book, first volume, is done. The maybe bad news is the wait is continuing because I need to finish the anthology. I don't want to write myself into a corner within the same anthology. And I may actually in the second volume end up breaking off the first, like the opening novella, the first episode of that second volume, into its own standalone interstitial thing. I'm not going to start editing it in earnest. I'm certainly not going to send it to a professional editor yet. Illustrations and stuff. I'm not going to do any of that until the rest of the anthology is locked in. That's a path to heartache and wasted time. The good news is that once I do get to the end of the second volume, the books will come out pretty close together. They'll only be separated by my own editing rounds, the professional edit, the illustrations, and compiling the glossaries, which is not an insignificant amount of time, but it's certainly not the sort of 2-year gap between the first book and the second. And I'm sorry about that. It's sort of the way it worked out. So anyway, I will talk to you all later. Bye.